Hey Facebook, this is Sandy with Trending Designs by Sandy. Give me just a second to get this pulled up on the tablet so that I can see what you guys see, so I know how to adjust my camera. Okay. I hope everyone's having a great Monday evening. Let's see here. Bear with me. Fortunately, this takes just a second. And I have to get it to sync. All right, there I am. When you come on, if you can tell me where you're from, that would be great. I'm just showing the love of the live, so give me just a second. Actually, it looks like I need more training is what I think I need. Anyways, hi Rita. Let me squish down here. I thought I'd hop on and do a live. I just received this transfer and I have been waiting for it since they announced it at convention. So I thought I'd jump on here and do a quick pillow using some silver ink. Let's see, I moved the camera. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Now you guys can see me. I'm doing very well, thank you. It's been a busy Monday, but we didn't have any torrential downpours today, so that's a plus. No lightning going on, at least not in my area. The mountain ranges are probably getting some rain and some lightning. Lightning at this time of the year is never good because obviously it causes wildfires. And I live on the western slope, which is a high desert area, and so it can get out of control pretty quick, especially in the evenings and afternoons when the wind starts blowing. But so far, so good. So I received a small order today. I placed it this last week on a few transfers that I really wanted. And so I'm going to show you the 3 that I got, but we're only going to do one tonight. So the first one was the very popular Never Stop Making Wishes. They did a little bit different design on it, but I think it's still pretty popular. It's got the great little motivational never stop making wishes. And how true is that, especially for anybody that is trying to do any kind of business? It's always great to have something to keep you motivated to look at. And this is probably going to go on my wall at some point, so that I can see it as soon as I figure out how I can do lives in my craft room and not have to keep coming to my dining room. So never stop making wishes. It's an E-size transfer. It's very large. So I want to put this on my wall in a very prominent spot. And I don't think I can get this whole thing in my camera view, but we're going to try. The other one that I got, Halloween. I love to decorate for Halloween, and it seems like a lot of people where I live, Halloween seems to be a very highly decorated holiday or special occasion, or however you want to look at it. Last year I had people asking me about skulls, skulls and skeletons, and so I got this one. This is a C-size transfer, and it has little lines that you can cut each of these little pieces apart, which makes it easier to work with. It says spine chilling and beware. It's got lots of bones, and you can use all of them or pieces of them, however you'd want to do it. And then the one that I have been waiting for, it's also for Halloween. And it's a D-size transfer, and it is all one transfer, and it is a Victorian skull. And so this is the one that when I saw all the previews of all of the items, this is the one that I was super excited about. And unfortunately it didn't launch on July 2nd, it launched on the 23rd. So it is brand new. It's still in the little package, so I'm going to be taking it out here in just a second. But it has the skull in here, and then it's got like a chandelier up on the top. It's got a big spider down here in the bottom right corner. I'm not quite sure. This looks like almost like a feather duster up here in the top right corner. But I just thought it was super cool, and so we're going to ink it on a black pillow cover. How hot was it there today, Rita? We're up in the 90s. I think it was like 97 where I work. I'm not sure how hot it got here in Junction today. Because I'm doing this on a pillowcase, I do not have to fuzz my transfer first, which is always great. I have paper towels. I have some baby wipes to wipe my hands before I pull my transfer off of my pillowcase so that I don't get ink anywhere I don't want it. I have a little bath over here to throw my transfer in when I pull it up. I'm going to move that camera down so that everybody can see what I am doing. So give me just a second to move this camera down. Give me just a second here. I'm waiting for my camera to kind of catch up with me, so while it's doing that, I'm just going to go through here and kind of bless my page to a few sites. there's one more page that I can do. All right. Hi Dixie, hi Lillian, hi Althea. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. Let me know if I need to move this camera anymore. So I'm going to be inking on a black pillowcase. It's the kind that has the zipper on it, which is great. I have my little ink mat here, or actually my large ink mat here. And this ink mat will keep my pillowcase straight, like it needs to be, so that it doesn't move on me while I'm inking. And it fits nearly perfect inside this pillowcase. And then you just kind of press it down, making sure to get all your wrinkles out. And this shouldn't take too long because it's just going to be in one solid color. It's not going to be in a bunch of different colors. I thought that it would look best in silver on the black. If it doesn't look good enough to take to my vendor event, then I'm going to have a new pillow for Halloween. I have a few little fuzzies on here that I want to try and get off. Thought I got them off, and I probably did, and then I put a towel down because I'm using my kitchen dining room table, which is fairly new, and I don't want any marks on it. So I think there's a good camera view. I'm just going to pull out a couple of these wipes so that if I get any ink on my fingers, I can wipe them off without getting any ink where I don't want on my pillowcase. Ink is not forgiving like the chalk paste is. Let me know if you have any questions about Chalk Couture that I can answer. And this is a brand new transfer, and I'm just going to write, well, let me grab my marker. I'm just going to write the word back on the back side so I know which side the transfer goes back on, because you never want to put the transfer on the wrong side. It does not stick very well. Well, it does. It actually sticks very well, which can cause damage to your transfer. So since this is brand new, normally if I were using it on a different surface, then I would fuzz it first. But since I'm using it on fabric, I don't have to do that. And now I just have to kind of line it up. These are reusable silkscreen transfers. They're sticky on this side, so they're going to it's going to adhere to my pillowcase. And with my ink mat inside of the pillowcase, the transfer is not going to move. And then I just want to go over it and make sure that I don't have any air pockets. Make sure it's all lined up so that it's even. And I'm just eyeballing it. I'm very lazy when it comes to the measuring thing. Like there might be something. Lots of piece of fuzz. So this is kind of what it looks like, just laying on my pillow cover. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So as I was saying, we're going to use silver ink made by Couture. I'm going to grab me out a couple of squeegees here. When using ink, you want to make sure that you are not going back and forth across your transfer. You want to apply the ink and you want to pull it down. And you want to apply ink and you want to pull it down. And you don't want to keep going over it because it will lift the transfer as the ink is being applied. And that's what causes the bleeding underneath the transfers. If any of you've ever seen people talking about the bleeding of the transfer, why did it do that? In a lot of cases, it's either because it had an air bubble or there was too much pressure of going back and forth across the transfer. All right, so I think that it's pretty much adhered as good as I'm going to be able to get. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So I have a larger squeegee. I also have this one. I don't think I will use it. It doesn't work real well on fabric. It works great on windows. It works great on chalkboards, wood surfaces, but it does not work so well on fabric. At least it does not for me. And I've tried it several times and I do not recommend it. So I'm going to be kind of generous with my ink as I apply it. And I'm going to move this up just a little bit so that you can see the top part of the transfer and see how I'm starting it. Okay, now we're going to start. And I'm just going to pull it down and pull it down and pull it down and pull it down. That's all I'm doing. And I don't know if anybody heard that, but it did just shift on me. So I'm going to be real careful. And now I'm just going to scrape, scrape, pull it down, scrape, pull it down, scrape, pull it down and scrape. And now that big glob that I had up here has been applied to the transfer. And I'm just going to go down. And I'm just lightly going over, scraping up excess ink so that I can scrape it back in my container. A little bit of Couture ink or chalk paste goes a long, long way. Okay, and I'm just going to start applying some more. And then I'm just dragging it down. And I'm being very gentle as I'm dragging it so that it's not lifting off of my fabric. Dragging, dragging. And I'm sure that this would be beautiful mixing a bunch of colors and stuff, but I'm just too excited and I just want to see how it looks. scrape this off, and I'm going to get some more. And now I'm just lightly applying the thickness of the ink, and then I'm going back over it lightly, dragging the ink across my transfer. I'm filling in all of the silk screen spots of the transfer. And I'm down here at the very bottom. I don't know if you can see in the camera view there. And I'm trying not to get it onto my fabric. Because as I said, ink is not forgiving. If it's a small little spot, you might be able to get it up. But in a lot of cases, most people panic when they get it where they don't want it. But if you stay patient and calm, you can sometimes remove it taking like a disinfectant Clorox wipe. I use this brand because it's cheaper and they come in several different containers, and I purchase it at a bulk store, and they work amazing. So again, I'm just applying it, like gobbing big thickness of ink, and then I'm just lightly dragging my squeegee across the silk screen openings. And I'm saving the skull for last, or the bulk of the skull, because it's a big open space. And I'm just applying it. There's a lot of just little screens here, and I'm dragging, but I'm being very, very soft in dragging. It's not a chalkboard. Chalkboard, you do scrape harder. You use a heavier hand. But with ink on fabric, you use a light touch. And especially if you're using layered transfers. This is just one giant transfer. It's literally just one piece. Okay, I think I have gotten it in all the little silk screens up top. If you can, I don't know if you can see quite that detail, but when I go over it the first time, I'm putting a glob of the ink on it. And when I go over it the second time, I'm using a light touch to drag that ink down into all the silk screen openings. And now I'm going to work on the skull. I'm going to get a little bit more ink here. And with ink, you don't have to work as fast as you do with the chalk paste. You don't have that same problem of the ink drying like it does with the chalk paste. And now I'm just dragging, and I'm being super, super gentle. Trying to pull up all the excess. I don't want it too thick. And I see there's a little spot there that I missed. And I'm going to try and fix my little boo-boo up here. But I'm not sure if I can or not. And I have a slight glare with all this shimmering silver. And I do see that I missed a spot. So we're just going to go up here, drag, dab, 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 drag, drag, drag. And if I can't fix it, I don't think it's going to be all that noticeable. Right, so I'm just going to scrape all this excess off, put it in my little water bath that I've already prepared, and I just use those disposable aluminum trays. I have a really large one, like it's huge, and I just put some water in it so that when I pull this transfer off, I can immediately stick it in the water, especially with the shimmering colors, the silver, gold, and copper, and the new red chalk paste, because the glitter that's in it, it needs to be washed off quickly. So I'm just going to start pulling up. And this is where two hands on these larger transfers come in handy. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, you guys, this turned out beautiful. Let me just get this in the water so it will deactivate the stickiness until it's washed, and then the stickiness, when you dry it, it'll come back. But I just don't want it to adhere to itself. Let me just turn it around so that you can see it. And oh my gosh, I don't know how well it's showing up on the camera, but this is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And now I can put this transfer back down and kind of make the skull a little bit darker in spots where it's a little bit lighter. I'm not sure if I will do that or not, because I really like the way that it turned out. I will use a heat gun to dry this, and shortly I'll use a heat gun. The heat gun will initially get it dry enough to where I can put a piece of parchment paper over the top of it, and then I'll use my heat press to heat set it. And this will take a couple of maneuverings with my heat press to set it, but it'll be done in less than 6 minutes to heat set the whole thing with a the heat press. I brought a larger one. I treated myself a few months back since I use it on fabric so much. And yes, it does almost look 3D. And actually, yes, it does look pretty good on camera as well. And then I just have an insert that I will insert into the pillow. I will zip it up, and it will be ready for my craft fair on, oh, well, Saturday. This Saturday I'm not doing the craft fair, but the following Saturday it will be available. Does anyone have any questions? Oh my gosh, I am so happy with this transfer. Can't wait to make lots more stuff and play with it and maybe do multiple colors. But wow, this turned out. I'm so excited. I am so excited. I can't even tell you how excited I am. And how long did that take me? Oh, 30 minutes. And that was from changing my camera angle. The actual project probably took 15 minutes to do. Any questions? Thank you, Rita. I just saw that up above. Thank you for blessing my page. I greatly appreciate it. I know it almost looks like it's standing up off of the pillow, and I'm not sure if it's the silver on the black. But I have a bunch of bags that I purchased last year, and I sold a bunch of bags, little Halloween trick-or-treat bags. They were pretty popular, and I just actually posted those on Facebook Marketplace, and met people down at the mall, and they met me and they bought my little trick-or-treat bags for their kids. It was pretty awesome, and I'm thinking that I can add some of my little Halloween new ones that I got. The shirt I have on I made last year. It says Happy Halloween. It's got little pumpkins on the front, and on the back it has a haunted house. And I absolutely love my little t-shirt. And I decorated my windows with the Halloween transfers. They work great for decorating your windows, clothes, anything you can get your hands on and want to chalk or ink on, they pretty much will stick to. And if it doesn't turn out perfect, in some cases you can wash it off and start over. But most of the time crafting isn't perfect, and those imperfections actually make it more unique. So, and if it does look really bad, you can always ink or chalk something over the top of it, like add, you know, stars. In this case I could add more spiders. I have another transfer that has spiders on it that I could add. I could even add like black widow spiders and add the little red dot on it. Although the black might not show up, but it might show up on top of the silver. Okay, if there's no questions, I want to say thank you to everyone for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them here in the comments. I will come back and answer them. If you'd like to be invited to my VIP page, just drop VIP down in the comments. It's for non-Chalk Couture designers. Anybody else is welcome. I hope everyone has a great evening, and I hope to be back later this week. All right, everyone, good night.